What's happening, Raider Nation? It's your boy Soto here. You know what it is. Raiders versus the world, talking about the team that the world loves to hate, your Las Vegas Raiders. All right. There's dream scenarios and then there's nightmare scenarios. I want to talk some dream scenarios. What is the dream scenario for the offseason for the Las Vegas Raiders? Let's take a look. But before we do, I want to make sure everyone please like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. If you're watching this video, if you watched my videos in the past and aren't subscribed, it's a great way for you to help support this channel. It's absolutely free. And it's easy and it's fun. I'm just kidding. But it is the absolute bare minimum you can do to help this channel grow besides doing absolutely nothing. It would really help me out and I would really appreciate it. All right, guys, let's get started. All right, the first thing that needs to happen for the Raiders to have a dream offseason is to get a quality quarterback, and check mark, that is done. The Raiders made a huge splash last week when they traded the third-round pick that they got in the Devontae Adams deal with the Jets, flipped over to the Seahawks for Geno Smith. Pete Carroll loves Geno Smith. Geno's a natural leader with plus ability. He also has a familiarity with the culture that Pete Carroll wants to bring to the Raiders. That's huge. That's something that both Spytek and Pete Carroll have been preaching since day one. On top of that, he was top 10 and sometimes even top 5 in a lot of quarterback categories. At worst, Geno Smith is a really good bridge quarterback. At best, if we put a good team around him, he could be a franchise quarterback for 4 or 5 years. All right, the next thing we need to do to have a dream offseason is to keep at least 3 of our defensive starting free agents. Now, unlike most years where a lot of teams didn't want our free agents, we have like a lot of coveted free agents on the defensive side. Some of the more coveted players that we have are Trayvon Merrick, Robert Spillane, Nate Hobbs, Malcolm Kuntz, and we're not even talking about Divine Diablo and Adam Butler or Marcus Epps. We got a lot of guys out there that need to get signed. Now, Pete Carroll says he wants to bring a lot of these guys back. Maybe it's possible, maybe it isn't. But I know for sure that they're going to bring back the best of the best, and if not, they're going to have a replacement that's better. But you need to be able to bring a bulk of these guys back for continuity on the defensive side of the ball that played pretty well the second half of 2023. Okay, next thing that needs to happen for a dream Raiders offseason is to get another impact player on the defensive line. This is assuming that we keep Malcolm Kuntz. We need another guy on top of that just to build that rotation and make that really monstrous defensive line. Look, last season, the defense fell apart because the defensive line didn't perform the way it should have. Now, there were a lot of injuries, including Maxx Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz and Christian Wilkins. So 3 of your 4 starters were out for a bulk of the season. The thing is, when those guys come back, we need to have rotational guys so these guys aren't playing every single snap. If the Eagles taught us anything, it's you can never have too many quality defensive linemen. That's what we need to build here in Vegas. We need to get that defensive line sewn up, and that's going to help the rest of the defense play its best. Now, if Kuntz ends up walking, you need to add 2 guys, probably 1 in free agency and 1 through the draft, if not more, because you need to stack this defensive line and make it a monster. All right, next on the list for the Raiders to have a dream offseason is to add a top running back in the draft. You need a young guy who has all the skills you're looking for in a modern NFL running back. There's quite a few out there. This is probably one of the deepest running back classes that I can remember. I'm not just talking about good players. I'm talking about deep, well into the 4th or 5th round, 6th round even maybe, of guys who can start on day 1 on NFL teams. There's going to be a lot of guys out there. The trick is finding the right one who fits the scheme that you're looking for. Now, there are a couple of guys who played for Chip Kelly in the past. There's Trey Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, who are kind of opposites, right? They're both home run hitters, but one's a little more shifty in Henderson, and one's a little bit more of a batting ram, kind of a beast mode 2.0, like I said, in Judkins. Either one will be great. If you guys saw my mock draft, we got Genty at number 12. I don't know if he's going to last that long, but if he does, that would be a home run pick for us. We need to add someone who's going to be the main running back on our team. Probably more than 1. I want to draft 2, maybe even more, because look at what happened last season. Running back is a position that you really don't think about until you need them. And then when you need them, you're like looking around and like, oh, wait, they don't just grow on trees. You need to get quality backs. If there's quality backs out there to be had, we need to get them because this offense will not run without quality running back play. All right, last in the line of things that the Raiders need to do to have a dream offseason is to add offensive linemen. Just like bulking up the defensive line, we need to bulk up the offensive line. Last season was abysmal. We were the worst running team in the league. We weren't that great in pass protection. And look, a lot of the deficiencies of the interior offensive line were put a spotlight on because Jackson Powers Johnson is such a mauler. You see Andre James, you see Dylan Parham take a big step back in their career next to a guy who's pancaking guys left and right. That goes to show you that's what should be done. That's how offensive linemen for the Raiders should play. And if you can't play that way, maybe you shouldn't play for the Raiders. Now, they signed Alex Kappa, and I'm pretty high on Alex Kappa. He was a really good guard, but he had a concussion. He was also dealing with an illness last season, so he missed some games, and his production suffered. But he's ripe for a comeback year. Even if Kappa doesn't get quite back to the form where he was, he's probably still better than Dylan Parham. Even if Kappa doesn't get back to the form that he was prior to last season, he's still more than likely going to be better than Dylan Parham or Jordan Meredith. Hey, and upgrades are upgrades. Worst case scenario for Alex Kappa, he gets beat out by Dylan Parham or Jordan Meredith. Well, guess what? He's still a really good swing player. I also anticipate us adding more offensive line depth in the draft. There is a ton of guys in the interior offensive line. There's also a couple of sneaky tackles who might be able to push into guard in the interior should they need to. Look, guys, I know it's not sexy. I know it's not like a home run picks where you can put it on your social media and jump up and down and watch highlights. But offensive line and defensive line are the ways to build strong teams. Look at the teams that were in the Super Bowl and late in the playoffs. These guys had really good offensive lines and really good defensive lines. Look what happened to Kansas City. They got injuries on the offensive line, and Eagles' defensive line ate their lunch. One of the big changes to happen when Antonio Pierce took over is he put in Malcolm Koonce to start full time. He said, Tyree Wilson, you're not ready yet. Malcolm Koonce, you're ready to go right now. And what happened? The defense transformed. You're able to put pressure on the quarterback without blitzing. These guys are getting home and causing havoc. On the offensive side, you need to be able to protect against that. So you need to bulk up. You need to get big, strong, fast, mean guys in the offensive line. That's what we need to get, and that's another way we can have a dream offseason. Look, these are all great things to have happen, right? But they need to happen. And I think Pete Carroll and John Spytek are well on their way with the moves they've done so far, signing Kappa, extending Maxx Crosby, trading for Geno Smith. These are knocking off things off the list that need to happen and need to be improvements on this Raider team. All right, guys, let me know what you think about the video in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. If you're watching this video all the way and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. It's absolutely free. It's a great way to support this channel, and it's the absolute bare minimum you can do to help this channel grow besides doing absolutely nothing. All right, guys, I appreciate your time. Until next time, everybody, peace. Hey, Raider Nation, thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button, drop a comment, make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing. Hey, Raider Nation, thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button, drop a comment, make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing. Hey, Raider Nation, thanks for watching. There's plenty more where that came from. Go ahead and smash that like button, drop a comment, make sure to subscribe and share to all your socials. It's the bare minimum you can do without doing absolutely nothing.